Bernardo Silva wanted in La Liga. PSG have Hakimi rivals. Arsenal's Neves talks ongoing. Benzema's Euro nightmare and a transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Froelich, you are the One Footballers, and this is the Daily News. So first up, Bernardo Silva is wanted in La Liga by La Liga champions Atletico Madrid. Now, you know when Diego Simeone really wants a player, it's usually because he thinks they're going to fit his system perfectly, and I can't think of anyone who fits it better than Bernardo Silva. Fantastic ability when going forward and in the attacking areas of the pitch, but also that insane work ethic that you have to absolutely have if you're going to be a success at Atletico Madrid. Obviously, I'm not saying that Manchester City, not Barcelona, Manchester City are willing to let him go, but they do have a wealth of attacking options. Maybe that's one of the reasons that Bernardo Silva could be tempted by a new challenge. He's pretty much completed English football, as have most of the Manchester City squad, and he's fighting for game time in all competitions along the likes of Phil Foden, Torres, Raheem Sterling. There's Morris in there as well. Through the centre, there's Gabriel Jesus, there's Kevin De Bruyne, then maybe one or two others that I've missed out as well from Manchester City. So maybe he's tempted to join Atletico. Their whole project they've got going on is a really interesting one. You can basically go to La Liga, be part of an insane team, and one that's really pulling up trees and knocking Barcelona and Real Madrid off of their perch. We've seen before, though, with a few attackers, they can go one or two ways. It can either go the Thomas Lemar route, signed for big money, hasn't necessarily fitted in as well as possible, or it can go the Correa route, where it's worked out pretty well for a bit part player who wouldn't necessarily be in the strongest Atletico Madrid 11 if everyone was fit. Of course, there's that João Felix route in between, but he's still so young, it's very difficult to say whether or not he'll go on to be an absolute legend, but they'll definitely be hoping so for a certain amount of money. Anyway, if Atletico do want to push the deal through, the rumours have it that they're going to be swapping Saul Niguez in the other direction. This kind of works for Manchester City. I mean, they've got some good midfielders already, but Fernandinho, well into his mid-30s, may need replacing sooner rather than later. And whilst Niguez isn't a complete defensive midfielder, it does give Pep Guardiola more options in the middle of the pitch where he can rotate, he can play different systems, and he can really use the best of Saul Niguez's ability. We've seen him at Atletico Madrid for so many years. He's been brilliant there, but much like Bernardo Silva, maybe he wants a new challenge. Or maybe he just wants to stay and become an absolute legend with Atleti. Of course, it's just a rumour at the moment, but with two quality players going either way and benefiting both sides, I don't see any reason why it's that a ridiculous deal. Next up then, and to Chelsea, who apparently are going to rival PSG for the big money signing of Achraf Hakimi. Now, last week we actually spoke about the fact that PSG had agreed a deal with Inter Milan for the Moroccan right back, but it looks as though Chelsea are coming in with a bit of a late deal, and this could not involve a big amount of money, but also two players in a swap deal as well. This is going to be tempting for Inter Milan. Both Andreas Christensen and Emerson are both set to be included in the deal, which will see Hakimi make the move to Stamford Bridge, and this would only bolster Chelsea's squad further. We saw over the last part of this season with Thomas Tuchel how well he has turned this Chelsea squad around. So think about a transfer window where he gets the transfers he wants, allows the players to fit further into his tactical ideas and approaches, and then adds a quality player like Achraf Hakimi. Things can only go better for the West London club. He's going to be rivaling Reece James at right back, he's going to be rivaling Ben Chilwell at left back, and all round the squad is going to improve. As for the centre back position though, they will be getting rid of Christensen, like I mentioned, and Fikayo Tomori as well, who has agreed a deal with AC Milan to move there permanently after his loan spell, and it looks like that may officially go through this week. Next up, I'm talking of transfers, but this time some Premier League to Premier League club transfers, and it involves Ruben Neves moving to Arsenal to pretty much become the replacement for Granit Xhaka. At the moment, Arsenal want around 26 million euros for Granit Xhaka, and Roma, the buying club, Jose Mourinho's Roma, are only willing to pay around 15. The talks are ongoing, and you'd like to think that the sooner those get done, the sooner Arsenal can then turn all their attentions to negotiating with the Portuguese midfielder. Wolves didn't exactly have the best of season, and maybe a few of their players have spent the amount of time in the club which should see them then take the next step. As for Ruben Neves, we know he's a quality midfielder, but the thing is, him coming in to replace Granit Xhaka literally is a like-for-like replacement. Both of them really aren't dynamic box-to-box speedy midfielders. They're more aggressive passers. They dictate the play and the tempo from deep in midfield. So yes, it might not necessarily change the complete way that Arsenal play in midfield, but it is a fresh challenge for Xhaka. It's a fresh challenge for Neves, and it just changes things up a bit at Arsenal. There are a lot of fans saying that maybe Arsenal have gone stale, and certainly Mikel Arteta's been speaking about a rebuild and getting rid of quite a bit of deadwood in the summer. So maybe this is exactly the kind of move to kick off a new generation, a new hope for the Arsenal team and for Arsenal fans. Next up then, and to some really sad news for Karim Benzema. After finally making his return to the France squad, he got injured in the friendly against Bulgaria, and it looks like he may miss some, if not all, of Euro 2020. Honestly, my heart goes out for the guy. France were playing a fantastic match. They won 3-0 actually, when Antoine Griezmann scored a great bicycle kick, and Olivier Giroud, Benzema's replacement, managed to get 2 goals, but like I mentioned, it's not really an ideal night for the Real Madrid forward. At 33 years old, this may be his last Euros or even his last international tournament, and it's not something you want to see, and he was clearly devastated on the bench. As for his replacement though, well, Olivier Giroud's done it before and he just keeps doing it at international level. 2 goals last night takes him on to 46 national goals for France, means he is 5 behind Thierry Henry. And looking at the way he's going, factor in the Euros, maybe a few more World Cup qualifiers, I honestly think Olivier Giroud, the guy who seems to always be an impact sub or off the bench or not necessarily rated for all of his abilities, is going to be France's highest goal scorer of all time. France, with ridiculously legendary forwards for however many years, the highest goal scorer, and you can only say that he has absolutely deserved it. This is the kind of flip side to the Karim Benzema injury thing, is that without him, they won the World Cup. They made it to the Euros final. I'm not saying they don't need him, but certainly without him, I think the French are still going to be alright and probably still be tournament favourites. Finally, a quick roundup of the rest of today's transfer news that you might have missed. And Arsenal have set a price tag of £20 million for right-back Hector Bellerin. And actually, talking of Arsenal and their Wolves as well, Wolves goalkeeper Rui Patricio may be moving to Roma. We seem to have mentioned those clubs quite a lot today. Anyway, the replacement is going to be fellow Portuguese goalkeeper José Sá. Elsewhere, Liverpool are interested in Porto midfielder Fabio Vieira that is. And lastly but not least, Real Madrid have said they're willing to let Brahim Diaz go back on loan to AC Milan next season. But if they want to sign him permanently, they want €26 million. That's all from me for today. Make sure you check out everything else we've got going on. Stay up to date on all of the OneFootball content around the European Championships. And until next time, I will see you guys later.